Where the fuck is my lighter? Like, I finally caught up on Lovecraft Country today. Yeah, DC Future State. Yeah, it's starting with Bruce being dead. Bruce Wayne? Batman? Batman's dead. I actually am not sure. So what the start is pretty much in Gotham, Bruce Wayne is dead, and an all new, probably POC Batman steps up to save the city. This is from Polygon. This is Polygon's write up. In Metropolis, John Kent, which is Superman's son, steps into the boots of Superman after his father is exiled to space for some wild shit. And pretty much, and in the Amazon rainforest, a new Wonder Woman is chosen by the gods. This potential future seems to have its beginnings in the yet unpublished finale of DC's current cosmos-shattering crossover event, Dark Knight's Death Metal, which will conclude on January 5th, 2021. So pretty much what this is just giving all of the DC writers a good time to just fuck around. So, yeah, until they named whole teams, and I do not have that in front of me right now, but it is a lot. Who? No. Those are all those are writers and creators. Yeah. Girls. Dan Mora. Yep. Yeah, so so some of it is some really cool premise. Some really cool premises. I remember that the Batman Future State one, who they were saying is probably POC, but like but they stated that one months ago, but they didn't state what part of the line it was going to be a part of. So to see it actually be like, I guess this is an alternate future, right? Future state. Yeah, no, it seems like it. Wonder Woman has gray hairs, Superman has gray hairs, so there obviously must have been at least 20, 30 years to pass. But like, it seems like a cool time. And you know what? I don't really read DC Comics out of just that is too much stuff to read on a monthly basis to for me to stay in touch. But you know what? I'll get in on some miniseries. I don't mind that. They the shit looks good. Yeah. Yeah, man. It looks pretty dope. It looks pretty dope. I would be surprised if that was not just Bruce Wayne, but they some people are saying that is probably Damien. So like uh even though they're also in the art, if you look in the back, there's Red X right behind the brand new Wonder Woman. And from I I think that might I don't know if that's Nightwing or not, because uh remembering Teen Titans, um about Robin being Red X, and yeah, yeah, yeah. Like so like that's them really pulling on some 2000s nostalgia there to get the now 30-year-old reader into this shit. Superman's, yeah, yeah, they're bringing everything into this. They also brought back Grifter, which is from Wildstorm, um, who is the '90s poster boy. So they got some cool things going on there that I didn't expect. This was all very. Oh no, they said fuck that. No, it. Whoa, 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 whoa. No time for that yet. Even though they did announce the Batman one um beforehand, so it really makes no sense that they didn't just announce this, because like it's not like it ruins anything. Um, but it's cool. It's cool, you know. Yeah, that's really great to hear. Dope. I think they're continuing like Dexter, like coming back into America. Um, I mean, I from what I can tell, that's what it seemed like. But I I'm not 100% sure. But I mean, everything's getting revamped now. I mean, you know, yeah, like you were saying, Hannibal should come back. You know, what else? What else would you want to come back right now? Yo, do you know what? I actually I follow someone on Twitter. I think their name's Mark Stack, or if that is your name, hey, shout outs. But Um, they've been looking through Smallville comics, and it just made me like, you know what? That that would have been dope to actually see that show going for longer. and them actually let Superman be Superman. Yeah. Yeah. It I just don't I don't think I think well weren't they like running out of money for that? Like or like it I mean just had like diminishing returns and like that's why they never did like remember when people were begging for Batman to show the fuck up but yeah like yo like Green Arrow uh huh
Oh
we
man.
got like a prototype Justice League going on here. Huh?
Yeah.
People fuck with that. Look, like all you had to do was just put some dude in a Batman cowl with like, I don't know, like a leather fucking jacket, and
Right.
like,
Yeah.
like
Look-
it would have been done. It would have been done because you would have been like, cool.
Right.
That's Batman in Smallville.
I mean,
Like,
look at all of the photos that are coming out of Matt Reeves as Batman. It's just like Robert Pattinson looking broody in a black tie.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy as that. Just give or in Gotham. I mean, we saw a young Bruce Wayne and he put on the cowl, which is weird that they let the same actor put on the cowl and then they got an older actor to play Selina Kyle. I just thought that was pretty weird. I don't know if you saw that last season of Gotham.
You know, oh shit. Wait, they did that with Selena Kyle? I thought they did that with Poison Ivy.
No, it's Selina Kyle. I think the name of the actress was something
Wow.
Bikondrova, who played
Yeah.
it was the child actress who played Selina Kyle, and then they got a older actress to play her in the show. But they kept the young
They
Bruce
kept
Wayne.
young Bruce Wayne. Yeah, you know what? That outfit looked like shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about the proto Batman one, the one where they got like, didn't they get one of the old Batman outfits? To
Yeah.
put him in the last season.
I think
God
it might have been
damn
the
it.
George Clooney one.
I hate when that they keep doing that shit, cause they did that for one of Supergirl's too.
Oh wow.
By I mean getting one of the guys that was in Teen Wolf to like being like whose old suit was it? I think it was from Superman Returns. It was that dude's
Wow.
suit from Superman Returns.
Well, they
and
used Superman Returns outfit in the series finale of Smallville.
Oh my god. You know what? I might be mixing shit up then. So no. Okay. Yeah, that's
Well, I think
That
you might be
makes
thinking
sense.
about Chris Wood, who I think was in Teen Wolf, because he was Power
was-
Man or something like that. But the Tyler Hoechlin Superman outfit is pretty. I think it's like Christopher Reeve inspired. Oh, actually no, it's
okay, yeah.
New 52 inspired, where the cape is like on the shoulders rather than like on the neckline. I always
Yeah,
thought that
Yeah.
was a
That
better
okay.
outfit.
That makes sense now because I
Mhm.
was very much just like I swear what okay. Yeah. Yeah, I mean I hope you know what? I hope that someone thinks to bring back Smallville. I think finally that like CW has seen that they could just put money into lesser heroes and it still come out okay for them to run that shit for past season.
Right. I mean, I'd even watch a Lex Luthor show if it was just Michael Rosenbaum bald. I thought he was the best Lex Luthor.
He was a really good Flash.
Oh, that's right. He was a really good Flash.
Yeah.
So the plan tonight was to talk about sort of our introductions to horror, and use that as a jumping off point to talk about Lovecraft. But why don't you take a moment and talk about Raised by Wolves? You've been watching that a lot recently, haven't you?
Oh, dude. Oh my God. So, since Rivka's not here, I can go in about this a little bit more. They're probably not watching this. Like, I hope you're
Oh
not.
yeah, I would hope so.
Yo,
I hope
look,
they're resting.
Yo, you better be resting. But the thing I really appreciate about Raised by Wolves is that I think about it all the fucking time. I like I know this is a really common phrasing, but that shit is in my head rent free. It is so weird. It is so it is so much more than what it is on paper. I thought that I was going to hate it, but instead, like, this weird show with androids that do not talk like human beings, know that they are not human beings. Like, they talk weird, dude. They talk like they talk in like cut off sentences.
Interesting.
Like most of the time. At least when they're first going, and then when they're talking to themselves, it's very brisk.
Okay.
When they are talking to their children, it's a little bit more
Children?
human.
There's some
Yes.
android babies?
Well, this kind of gets to the point. So, these androids are taking care of the last human children from Earth. They have been sent to another planet that is in the solar system. I think it's called Kepler 22b. That's how much I have been just watching this show. that the planet is stuck in my brain. So on Kepler 22b, they have Mother is one of the androids' name. Their mother and father.
Mm-hmm.
That is their names. They don't have other names. That's it. One is a service android, and another is a necromancer. And
boy.
and a necromancer is a flesh-searing murder bot that has been turned into a mother who cares for children and is very protective. Raised by Wolves.
Raised by Wolves is an American science fiction drama television series created by Aaron Guzikowski. First 2 episodes directed by Ridley Scott.
Yes, and those 2 episodes should have just been made into one episode, because I swear to God, one doesn't work without the other. It brings so much context. But this mother is programmed to bring these babies to term on this planet.
To term?
And
as in
to term. Like,
oh, so they're like in a sort of stasis, like a womb, and then need to be birthed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. She stays for 9 months, giving them nutrients from tubes coming out of her that are built into her system, and they are in little pods that are pretty much bringing them to be born. And you find out that the reason why they got sent to this planet is because these 2 androids are supposed to be making atheist children, bringing up atheist, atheist culture. No religion here.
Imagine. There's no
um,
heaven.
and it is wild. From the beginning, it shows that this is not going to be a show that is easy. This is not going to be a show that force feeds you,
Mm.
or that even is super helpful with giving you context at first. You might be shown something without being told like what it explicitly is. And it is awesome. You then, at the end of the first episode, you meet the followers of Soul, which are the religious faction um, that pretty much have found themselves on this same planet.
Mm-hmm.
And on this planet, there are resources, and you kind of find out that maybe that these followers of Soul maybe destroyed the planet, maybe ruined everything.
It adds up
Yeah,
with the way things are going now.
yeah, so and then in the second episode, it kind of really shows what was happening on Earth, and let me tell you, it was really bad. There are people dying everywhere. There are atheist child soldiers, because that's what the atheists do, since they have no god. They just put child soldiers out there. Yup, it is.
Wow.
And they're just, and the followers of Soul have technology on their side, and they said, we're going to make the necromancer, and the necromancer just blows you up.
Damn.
With their mouth.
I mean, I was sold at android parents and like atheist upbringing. I was like, let's see that type of world. Let's see that sort of utopia, or dystopia, if you will.
Yeah.
I mean, are they trying to demonstrate that like raising kids without faith is like sort of like the best alternative, or like because like they're saying that like, oh, the people that had faith destroyed the world, and so we're gonna undo all of that by raising kids without any faith.
Yes, but the thing is that like the show, the deeper as you go into the show, some of the androids start to have some contradictions on what they think is right and what they think is the right way to raise these children. And it gets good, and like all I'm let me paraphrase here with one of the quotes, but
oh, you got quotes, you did your you took notes.
Look, but Mother finds out who her creator was in one of the episodes.
Okay.
And Father finds out about this. And in this, Father is like, you are acting like a believer.
Whoa.
Like I mean, what the fuck are you so happy for? And she is like, well, it's not really being a believer if it's something that's tangible and real. And he is just like, I don't I don't know. Like, it seems like, your hopes and dreams are pinned on this. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. This is nothing. This is nothing to me. I'm just happy. And he's like, shit seems weird.
Yeah, because you know how people would always say like, oh, that person needs Jesus or that person needs God. What's the inverse of that? It'd be like, that person has too much Jesus, that person has too much a little bit too much faith.
Yeah, and actually with the religious side, you actually see one of them that started out very like kind of on the edge of not being religious anymore, come to this planet and start finding their faith even more.
Whoa.
And they show their like they show this going to their head in ways that you don't expect, and there are some really cool visuals that come with some of this stuff.
Damn.
Like there are, for a show that is about atheists versus religious fanatics,
Mm-hmm.
the show is very spiritual in itself, and it is very much, these are androids that know they don't have souls, that are not trying to be inherently human. But through this show, they are finding that maybe all things maybe don't have a soul, but something comparable to it, and that itself has worth. And these androids, during this time, have this mission of bringing children and raising them to be atheists. And they find that, you know, maybe they have worth beyond this mission. And
That's insane.
yeah, it is a show that while I before I'm going to sleep, I just think about it.
That's
So,
awesome. Yeah, you can't sell
yeah.
anything better than that.
Yeah. But what have you been watching lately?
I have been watching Mike Flanagan's The Haunting of Bly Manor. Did you watch The Haunting of Hill House before?
Really no, but my partner did.
I really liked The Haunting of Hill House, so I came into this being a Mike Flanagan fan. I've also seen Gerald's Game. He did something else too that I can't remember. I can't put my finger on. But I really like what he's doing. He really likes to expound upon like short stories or novels and just flesh them out in ways that you just don't expect. I mean, I've read Turn of the Screw twice. I read it in 8th grade, and I read it in college. So it was already important to me at a young age because my favorite English teacher gave it to me to read. And rest her soul. She passed away I think about 5 years ago. And then I read it again for my comparative literature course, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. We're supposed to be doing this global lit class, but then she wants us to read this white male writer. And the novel itself is just a very much didactic about Christianity and religion itself, and how it kind of is sort of a poison to the mind when it comes to logic. But I think what was so cool about the adaptation on Netflix is that he expounded it into this really great love story, and it's this amazing queer relationship, and oh man, I love it. And what was so great about The Haunting of Hill House were some of those little subtle jump scares that are in there. Things that things don't pop out of the screen, but there are things that you notice in the background that literally terrify you. So there are parts in The Haunting of Hill House where there'll be a tracking shot where you'll follow this person down a hallway, and then the camera will shift to show you the room that they're in, and then you'll see just a ghost standing in the corner. And then as soon as you make eye contact or you notice that in the screen, you feel a chill over your body. And that ghost doesn't need to do anything. It doesn't need to jump. It doesn't need to scare you. It's just it's in the room, and you are terrified that it's gonna do something. Yeah, and you get the same feeling in this one as well. But there were just so... I think the show is beautifully written. There are a lot of really great metaphors for life, and using botany as a metaphor. There's this really great scene with moonflowers, because moonflowers, they only bloom for about 2 weeks at the night. And they only grow during the spring, so it takes months to propagate them, only for a really short time for you to see them bloom. And they use that as a metaphor for life, and you'd be this time is so short, but it's so worth it to cultivate it. And so that was great. That was just such a really powerful horror film. And I think like getting into this discussion about like what got us into horror or the genre itself, you know, I grew up being terrified of horror films, especially like the campy horror stuff. Like Chucky, don't catch me looking at Chucky with his deformed stitched ass face, man. There was a Blockbuster I used to go to as a kid, and we were like their best customers. And so we'd ask like the people working there, or my parents would, "Hey, could you take down that Chucky poster?" And they're like, "Nah, we're not gonna do that just for you guys. But here's what we will do: since we're bored, we're gonna stand in front of the poster so your son doesn't see it." the things,
Man.
the things that they did for us, man.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
Man.
But yeah, so I'm really like I think what got me into horror was probably Get Out, and using like comedy and horror and like poignancy as well as like social commentary in order to like sure give you this like affect of fear, but also like, hey, here's something that you can take home and think about that's not going to give you nightmares. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's opened me to a bunch of other horror movies too. And like comedy horror is this like I feel like its own part of like horror as a genre itself.
Yeah. You know, I was looking through before the before the stream. I was looking at top 100 horror movies, and
Was that like an
actually,
AFI list?
it's a Rotten Tomatoes list.
Ooh, okay.
Actually, and it's aggregated, so I don't really. Look, but I just saw like the Cabin in the Woods on there. Young Frankenstein. Um, like a couple of these movies I would not say are like horror movies.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
mean,
mean?
Us is at
But
number one. That's
yeah,
insane.
yeah. Us at number one had me like this list isn't valid really, but like you know
Yeah.
I'm yeah
Fun
which
movie, fun movie. Don't get me wrong, but
fun
like,
movie, but not really a horror movie. That movie does not put any fear in me.
I had like lots of John Carpenter vibes, like Escape from New York kind of feel, where it was going into sort of that. I felt like it was just like a world building kind of movie, and it wasn't really like tearing at me.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. It definitely gets to by the
Godzilla.
end, but I mean, I understand that because that first one actually is more about the horrors of like uh of the atomic bomb,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
But like yeah, Us just kind of went off the rails by the end, so
Mm-hmm.
and not very scary at all by the end. It's actually like I would say it doesn't go comedic, but it definitely stops being scary whatsoever. Um, and with it trying to do that twist. Uh, but uh, I would say around for me when I really, if yours was Us, I would say mine was if we're talking
Oh,
about
mine was Get
recent.
Out. Mine was Get Out, not Us.
Get Out.
Yeah.
Sorry, Get Out. If yours was Get Out, I had a horrible time watching Get Out, and I don't think it's because of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's because I I went to go see that movie with a horrible colonizer.
That'll do it.
that that just increased the feelings of like what Get Out was trying to say. For me, I would say it was The Witch.
Oh
That
yeah.
yeah, dude. That wasn't like the first horror movie that really had me like, yeah, fuck yeah, I love horror. But like, it's the one that stays in my mental a lot for like this current generation. Because I think after that, you get Hereditary, you get It Follows, you get um, a lot of these movies that are Midsummer, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You get a lot of these movies that are like maybe not making new territory, but they're like refinding that ground that was lost after like the 80s with horror movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I mean that by the way of like European horror movies, because you just start to see like really cheesy horror flicks after what was it? Paranormal Activity.
Yeah.
Paranormal Activity.
Shit.
The thing that changed a generation. like, oh my god. Paranormal Activity, and what other movie series was it?
The Scary Movie series.
Like, oh my god.
Wayans Brothers, auteurs of horror.
I would make an empty argument right now for that, but I'm not going to go there. Shit, dude, I can't think about it. But what's the one with the horror movie Darth Maul?
Oh man, what is it? It's with Patrick Insidious. Yeah, Patrick Wilson.
Yeah.
Darth Maul.
Like, yo, that's.
Yeah, you're right.
I literally just searched it up. Horror movie Darth Maul. Insidious came up before I even clicked enter. So,
yeah.
But yeah, like in Insidious and Paranormal Activity, I think.
Also, all of the American Japanese horror remakes, like The Grudge, and what was the other one? Oh, did you ever see Brightburn?
No, the superhero horror movie or supervillain horror movie. Never haven't seen it yet.
Short and quick, like for an hour and 30 minutes, I'd say like, yeah, got the job done. Maybe like a 6 out of 10, which technically is fresh on Rotten Tomatoes.
Let me tell you, for a horror movie, that's an A plus movie. I mean.
Yeah, but it's like, this little, and he's not even a Nazi, but he's definitely a white supremacist child.
Oh, that's how it goes?
Oh, yeah,
man.
I
thought it was just a child acting out.
Oh no, man! It's just like you see this kid, and he's just like, I mean, there's no way of like demonstrating him using his like white privilege, but it's just like it's a white kid getting away with a bunch of shit, and be like, yo, slap this kid around. Oh, I forgot he's got superpowers. He might snap my hand.
Yeah. Oh shit! I didn't know that it was like that. I thought someone took away his bait key. And he was like, whoa, actually I'm gonna wear this mask and a noose and really like freak someone out. But that noose makes more sense now.
Yeah. And then there's also this sort of like cultural phenomenon with horror films too, where like Bird Box just created this huge like Bird Box challenge on TikTok and like I guess Instagram and YouTube.
Whoa, Kurt, before we spew that, I just want to say, Netflix paid people to do that.
No way.
No other.
What?
No, I will take no other way that shit happened. That people paid people, or that Netflix paid people to do that shit first, and then, like it got popular, because I don't remember anybody seeing Bird Box before that challenge came out. They paid people. That is my look. This show.
Anybody in the chat, admit it if you watched Bird Box because of the Bird Box challenge.
Look, this show is for intersectionality and queer content and diversity. But I am going to spout a conspiracy theory. Look, Netflix paid people will have it no other way. And that movie was horrible.
Uh, we're
Man.
dissing Sandra. We're losing viewers. No, I'm kidding.
Sandra understands that shit was for a check.
Yeah.
She got paid well, and those Netflix numbers went up. They did well. Like, it did exactly what it was supposed to do. Those 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 10 fucking Instagram streamers or fucking TikTokers that they paid to fucking do that challenge got paid well too.
Oh man. Oh dude, Pan's Labyrinth is like way low on this list.
Yo, look, like after I think about it, like this list is very bad actually. Maybe
Yeah.
actively.
I mean, there's really good movies on here, but it's just not aggregated in
Yes.
the right way.
No, it how they have them numbered actually has me very I'm very questionable about how this happened. But you know, cuz there's no way that like white guys voted on this either, because Us is at number 1 and we all know they hate that
Hellraiser.
shit.
Hellraiser isn't even on this list. This is
Oh,
ridiculous.
Hellraiser. Oh no, see. We need to find like a grimy early 2000s blog that a dude has been running since I mean early 2003, who's telling us where the real good horror movies are.
Right.
Does this shit even have ginger snaps? No?
Mm.
Whack.
All right, so I think we have to say our favorite horror movies. Do we have a top 5? I think I have a top 5. I think I can go for it.
Alright, go for it.
One Cut of the Dead. If you haven't seen
Okay.
that,
I haven't seen that.
One Cut of the Dead is incredible. Definitely more comedy than it is horror. But so you get 2 movies for the price of one. It's a 2-hour movie. The first 30 minutes is this very low budget zombie movie. And you're thinking like, okay, so the decisions that they're making has to do with the budget. Like this has to be a very low budget like horror movie. Maybe that's like why they're spoofing it this way. And then as soon as that film is done, you get the behind the scenes of how that movie was made, but in a narrative sort of plot. So you get like 30 days before the movie started, 15 days before the movie started, and then you see the actual production happen like behind the scenes, and it's so good. It's so hilarious. I was dying laughing after those first 30 minutes, because the first 30 minutes is just like, okay, I'm just kind of feeling uncomfortable watching this sort of like student horror movie that's not really good. And then it just flipped it on its head. I love that movie. Second one would probably be Hausu. House in English, Japanese horror movie. Very campy, very Scooby-Doo-esque. Love the soundtrack. The best deaths I've ever seen. Like the effects on it are very much like, oh, I just did this in Photoshop in like 30 minutes. And floating heads everywhere. I think perfect. I love that movie. Let's see. Third would probably be Hereditary. I thought that the subtext is way more powerful than the horror of it. I love the acting. I thought like Toni Collette should have gotten some Spirit Awards or like Oscar for that role. That was insane.
She should have got all the fucking awards for that shit.
That was insane.
That was fucked up to just steal from her like that.
Absolutely.
I'm very upset, man. You got two more.
I got two more. I got two more. Oh man. Oh, The Stuff. The Stuff is a 1980s comedy horror flick. And I guess comedy horror is probably my favorite subgenre of horror.
Okay.
But it was about this contaminated kind of dessert, like marshmallow fluff that you would eat, that once you ate it, you would become this zombie. And it was sort of like this sort of conspiracy where like, oh, they knew that, you know, this stuff would turn people into this, but then they wanted their own army out of it. um, and it's definitely got some of that like um, Harryhausen sort of like Toxic Avenger sort of camp to it. And then I
Toxic Avenger.
yeah,
Fuck.
it's got that sort of vibe to it.
It's been a minute.
I love Toxic Avenger. And I guess whew, probably oh, what's the Hitchcock movie with James Stewart where he's like paralyzed by his leg and he is it Rear Window or is it View from? I think it's
I
Rear
think it's
Window.
rare. It is rare. Rare. I mean, window for sure.
But that's my top five.
Okay. All
Do you got
right.
one?
Yeah. For me, I guess my first would be the Blair Witch Project.
Oh, so good.
Now, I wish this was for a reason. Like, I think that the movie is like very good. I think the movie is like a good movie, but that's not the reason. That movie gave me a very fucked up fear of just like if you saw someone right here just looking in I mean to a corner.
Yeah.
I think that
The
fucking
looking into
frightens
the
me more.
corner
Yo,
is the trope. It's the best
is
trope.
it fucks me up every time. I am literally getting anxiety just thinking about it, like someone being right there, because I'm just like, but like, it worked. It worked. Y'all got me. I mean, this is how I'm gonna be now forever.
But also like
Um,
people thinking that it was such a real thing. Like Cannibal Holocaust sort of like, yo, that can't
dude,
be fake. This can't be fake at all. Just like
dude,
Paranormal Activity, I think.
yes, exactly. Which you know, I mean, Paranormal Activity has a lot to owe to the Blair Witch Project. I mean,
Mm.
and they saw that shit and they were like, it's been like a good 10 years. People
Mhm.
have forgot, and they, I mean, took advantage of that. I would say It Follows,
Okay.
which is very much about how do I sum up It Follows? Um, it is about a sexually transmitted demon. Um, and it follows a girl at the start of the movie who has sex with her boyfriend or has sex with a guy,
Mm-hmm.
and then she ends up getting knocked out and tied up. The guy tells her, "Hey, look, it was a cool time, but actually, I've had a demon follow me, like, like for a fucking while,
Wait,
and this was the only way to get rid of it."
so I don't was the sex consensual and then he chloroformed her, or was it like he chloroformed her and then he had sex with her?
I'm pretty sure the sex was consensual, and then he chloroforms her.
Mm.
Yeah, from what
Right.
I remember with the poster, they are making out in the car, and then fuck, and then he is like, "Yo, actually, I got some news for you real quick."
Here,
I
hey, here's to a fighting chance for you.
Yo, like straight up, just like I mean, hands are look. Hey, look, there's a knife or something to get yourself out, but past that, like, I gotta go.
Which is
Um,
very much like there's the allegory for sexually transmitted diseases.
Z's, yes, yes. Which I don't think it always pulls it off,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like entertaining anyways, and it also like works because of it does show the like stigma against people that do have sexually transmitted diseases, against the I mean the like shit that women have to deal with
Right.
once they are of sexual age, even before sexual age, of course, and what they go through. It's literally a demon that wants to kill you, like, just for being of of age,
Mhm.
like,
Right.
uh, which like shares such a, which is just what women go through, what
Right.
non-binary people go through, what
But of course,
trans folks go through.
that movie wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for The Ring. The Ring wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for Ringu.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like horror is such a thing that just calls back on itself.
Mhm.
Um,
It's
and
self-referential. It's like
yeah,
the
yeah.
Kurt Vonnegut of movie movie themes and movie genres.
um, my third would have to be The Witch,
Mm.
which I already talked about before, but that shit is just good. It it does not. I don't know. You just fall in love with like how that how that thing unfolds. Just this Protestant, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, just this Protestant family just undoing itself because you just find out that the father couldn't fucking take an L. too too fucking prideful, and you end up with your whole family dying.
Mhm.
Also, +1 point for the witch literally eating a fucking baby and them just
Yeah.
letting that happen. Like,
First 15 minutes and that's what you get.
that's what you get. Like, peekaboo.
Also, they gave us Anya Taylor-Joy, who I'm a little bit smitten. Um, I love them. I like seeing their work. So as much as New Mutants might be a bad movie, I'm actually excited to see it for Anya Taylor-Joy.
You gotta simp for someone.
Yeah, I'll simp. I'll simp for Anya Taylor-Joy any day.
I, I get it. I get it. And, I mean, for me, it's Kate Dickie in that movie who plays the mom. Just because
Wow.
I just think, I don't know what it is about her, but she, as a human being, her face is so visually interesting. I
That's
don't
so
even know what it
true.
is.
I'm
It's
Google
so,
imaging searching, and wow, what a
yeah,
face.
like it's such a expressive face, and like I'm just like, wow, like
She's in The
just,
Last Jedi. Who knew?
oh yeah, she is in the Last Jedi.
For the hot second.
I think, I wonder, is she a space Nazi? Yeah, she must be a space
Yeah.
Nazi in that movie. There's no way that woman does not
Space
just get
Nazis.
turned into space Nazi. But past that, number 4 is Hereditary
Hmm.
for the same reasons that you had stated. Also, I watched that movie in theater with no.
Yeah, I saw that with my mom, dude.
Oh my god, dude! I saw it with no one else. Me in a theater, did not know what this movie was about
Mhm.
at all, and my god, that scene, which everyone who has watched the movie knows what I'm talking about, literally took, like, made me want to get up out of my seat and leave because I felt so fucking like
Right,
just
but I don't.
sick.
Weren't you frozen? I was frozen. I couldn't move.
Dude,
I couldn't think about
I
anything else.
my chest started to like get tight, and I remember being like, I need to go. I need to fucking go. Like, I don't have this in me. Like, I got through it. One of them, maybe, I don't know. Hereditary is just a gift that keeps on giving. And
Absolutely, like the
God,
it's the uncut gems of horror. Now that we have
yeah,
that allegory.
yeah, like, yo, like it truly is. It is the uncut gems of horror, and I should have put it first, but like I had to give Blair Witch Project its due.
Yeah, it's some props. That's the introduction. That's the holy grail.
Yo, but God, man, Hereditary's good, man. Like, if you don't fuck with Hereditary, I don't fuck with you.
That's what it is, honestly.
Past that, The next movie, which this is
Last
a
but not
toss-up.
least. Last but not least. Oh, it's a
This is a
toss-up. So we
toss-up.
get a twofer.
You get a twofer. You
Hell
get a
yeah.
twofer. All right. So the more serious one, Perfect Blue, which is a
Ooh, Perfect Blue. I don't know that
animated
one.
movie by Satoshi Kon, detailing the the film follows a member of a Japanese idol group who retires from music to pursue an acting career. As she becomes a victim of stalking, gruesome murders begin to occur, and she starts to lose her grip on reality. And this movie is just simply amazing.
Wow.
I had seen this movie um, before I saw it in theaters. They actually re-released the movie, I think, last year or 2 years ago, um, to theaters with a brand new, I think, a brand new cut of it. Not brand new cut, but of it being a cleaner version of the film than before. And this
Hmm.
movie is gorgeous. It has it has some really fucked up scenes. It goes sometimes maybe a bit too far with what it's trying to pull off, but like, man, it is such a good psychological thriller, and it's probably one of my favorite It's one of my favorite psychological thrillers, maybe without it even being animated. It's just that good. Um,
That's incredible.
yeah. Now, the other half of this, I was looking on the list of best horror movies on another list, and I saw Antichrist by Lars von Trier.
Huh. You like that
Now,
one?
now I'm not gonna state that one, but I am gonna state Nymphomaniac and how that movie
Ooh.
is a fucking horror movie, but they just don't tell you. That movie is a fucking mess. It will honestly, I've never seen a movie that would scare someone to be like a virgin, but that shit's it right there. That shit's wild. I I man, I don't think I could get through Nymphomaniac 2 again. But
It's abstinence propaganda.
yo, it truly is. It does what it's supposed to do. And also, why did you put Shia LaBeouf in that movie? I I want
It
to
was
know.
before he got hot.
No, this was what propagated him to be hot. And I am disgusted that this is what Lars von Trier saw something in Shia and saw a monster. He saw what that man could really be. And shame on you, Lars.
Wow.
Look where he's at now. Doing probably okay, but but spouting some wild shit all the time.
Yeah, he gave us Dogma 95, which is the most arbitrary set of rules for filmmaking.
Oh man. Yeah, you know what? Let's just tack on Lars von Trier's whole filmography. Let's
Nymphomography. Wow, there's so many highlights for this episode of Nerd Gaze.
God
Man.
damn it. It's oh man, those movies, they aren't bad movies, y'all, but that shit do be tiring.
Wow. I don't know how we're supposed to transition to Lovecraft Country.
Yo, alright, so just like in Nymphomaniac, we find out that maybe the main character is a bad person,
Mm-hmm.
and that bad person is Atticus. There we go. Transition.
There you
All
go.
right.
Yeah. Give it to me.
This is all fresh for me, and still there are parts of this show in the last 2 episodes I could not explain to you in any type of in any type of right order because I don't think the show really knows what the fuck it's doing.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
but um, we had already talked about episode 6, which I think is honestly the episode of the season. Now finally watching it, and maybe they should have stopped right there.
Give us the recap
because-
on episode 6. Is that Hippolyta's episode?
No, that is Gias.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Rivka loved that episode. I definitely had fun with it, and I will reiterate my mother's comments on it. It's a return to form.
Yes, it is a return to form for the show,
Mhm.
and it is. I think there are many reasons why that episode works and why many episodes of the show do not. And I
Mhm.
think it's because they treat the content of that show with somewhat fucking respect. And I don't remember there being any of those shitty modern music like intercuts in that episode. I think it really ends up just being playing itself straight and being very that episode feels like a movie.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
felt like this. I mean, that's what episode 1, 2, and 3, and this episode felt for me. Like they could have been like anthology sort of episodes, and that like here's a universe of Lovecraft Country. We're gonna go by it episodically and not really have a narrative arc for it, but still give you some more context to these characters. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, it really does. It just ends up being something that is very tight, tells a concise story, gives knowledge and like insight into who the characters are and who they've been,
Mhm.
right? And you just find out that Atticus maybe was right. Maybe he isn't such a good person like he stated before. Like
Mhm.
and you finally get to see that Atticus maybe killed some civilians, and not maybe, definitely killed civilians, and it was definitely a horrible thing to do.
Mm. What up, Shaitan Assassin? I see you in the chat.
So what's up? And but so episode 7, Hippolyta.
Yeah,
All
Mhm.
right. Her episode pretty great.
unbelievable.
Yeah. Gives some context to her. Gives some really deep insight to her and to George, and his misgivings and failings as maybe a partner. And I think that's very.
I appreciated that.
Yeah,
I definitely
no,
appreciated giving him at least some sort of complexity, because at the beginning of the show, and I listened to the podcast just like Asada did, how powerful it was for Ashley C. Ford to say that, wow, for the first time I'm seeing a black man love his wife and say, like, you're my fucking wife. You're my wife. I love you. And like we love George and we think he's this perfect husband. He's this perfect guy. And then we talk about how that sort of relationship actually diminished Hippolyta's sense of self-worth.
I think with a lot of with a lot of relationships that women have been taught to shrink themselves to fit into their partner's life, their
Mhm.
man's life, with Hippolyta, it was no different, and it's it's a big reality there.
Multiple realities, if that.
Yeah. It speaks to how well those scenes were done. That like the time traveling and alternate universes just isn't even like uh, they're they are definitely like able to be talked about and worthy of, I mean, being spoken of, but like they're just that scene was just that good. Um, and Hippolyta is a time traveler and is super cool now and has motherboards in her arms.
We're now in
So
episode 9. We're talking Hippolyta literally becoming part android in the sense very similar. I
yeah,
don't know if you watched Star Trek Discovery, but there's a character in Star Trek Discovery that has to hook into the ship in order for them to like warp around in space. So I felt like that was awesome. That was I've seen something like that happen, and so to see Hippolyta, I was just like, what can't she do?
yeah, yeah. I mean, she has turned really cool. Well, she was already really fucking cool. Um, you know, uh, but to pretty much see her like she just comes back, right?
Yeah,
Like she just shows up.
talk about a
Yeah,
messy like let's bring her back because like we have to wrap up the season, right?
yeah, dude. It's so just like, where's it? Oh, she's here. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay. And like, episode 8 could have been about anything the fuck else. I guess because you know, uh, episode 8 is such a messy episode. Also with the name Jigaboo, which, okay,
Right.
um, which is calling on what the monsters that are chasing Diana are, right? Like
Yeah, I mean,
that's her name. Yeah,
and
yeah,
those like depictions have always been horrific. You know, they've just been like,
yeah,
how could you see anybody in that sort of fashion? It's like this isn't even a joke. This is like true horror, and like this is what you think people look like, and this is how you make fun of them. So I guess like that's like bringing that to life was another thing, but
yeah,
it was that tweet that I sent you, which I can't remember who tweeted it. Was that like black trauma is just fodder for this show?
yeah.
Like
No, no, it
Emmett
truly
Till's
is.
funeral. I mean, like that's
Oh my god, dude. When them playing Emmett Till, them playing against Emmett Till's funeral, this like 80s cruel summer song, and I just was like, this is this is what I meant of like it just showed it versus episode 6 where you see respect,
mm-hmm.
and like there was none of that kind of like intercuts and none of them playing that bullshit. uh it just flies past their head here because I would have to say it has to be black people writing the show, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
that this writer room is mostly black. With Jordan Peele also being a showrunner, or not a showrunner but a producer
Right.
for the show. um and I mean, it's cool, I get it, we that's our ownership of that culture, but it's just weird. It is weird. It does not play well um every time.
Mm-hmm.
um and yeah, also episode 8 has Ruby uh still fucking Christina for some ungodly reason.
Oh, it's for that potion.
Yeah, of her being a white woman, but like, but then like, she then talks about how she didn't want to be a black woman that day,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just real. It, it was a mess. It is still a mess, especially since like after that, Christina says like, um, I don't really care about Emmett Till's murder. I don't care about black people. Like, this woman essentially says like, like, no lives matter. Like,
The
like,
inverse of all lives matter, no lives matter, which is
yeah,
still not good.
like it's not great, but you're just like, okay, okay. And then after, Ruby is still just like, hey, actually, I'm still gonna side with her. Like, and
Mm. Well, I
know,
mean, in the context of like this is the only person who's been telling me the truth.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, that's true, but also Christina did lie to you too, and has been embodying a dead man's body.
Right.
So and arguably his spirit, since he supposedly dies every time he she like embodies him. Uh,
What?
yeah, no,
That's an added
she
horror to it as well.
yeah, like she, I mean, makes that off-brand comment of, I mean, like when she's talking to the dying officer, like William dies every time that I like shed shed the skin, and
Mm,
I'm just like, oh, that's not better. Like that's
yeah.
not good at all. Um, so yeah, I mean,
Does that mean that he gets to experience him watching the cop die
no,
as well, or
I,
is it just like it's just his death then that he experiences once more?
I don't think I don't know, man. I just
Hmm.
don't know. They like again, like this is just something that they offhandedly say, but like they don't really make sense of it, which
Mm-hmm.
is much of this show when it comes to the plot and like what the things in this world mean. The world building in this show started off really strong, and then I don't know, they said we have character arcs. Okay, but how do we mix that with plot? And
Mm-hmm.
they just were like,
Looks at notes.
we don't.
Freedom of the press.
Like so it just has been a show that watching it all today um just is so focused on black trauma
Mm-hmm.
without like any like without any misgivings about like why should you be showing this. You're not giving me a reason to why this should be shown. You're just introducing me to black pain
Mm-hmm.
for entertain, like,
Well then,
which
yeah, and then that's how I feel like that, and I agree with you that like okay, so there are black writers in this writing room, but it still has this sort of white gaze upon the show, and that like I mean, it's the second show to have shown us the Tulsa massacre, you
yeah,
know.
which that also now makes it feel really cheap, which like maybe that's not inherently on the show, but like this is the second HBO show uh that has had the Tulsa massacre be a part of a main character's story.
Mhm.
And look, this isn't me saying that we shouldn't be talking about that. It just ended up being really bad timing because the show that came before it was actually really fucking good. Um
Yeah.
like
But
just
there are literally thousands of people who are literally putting those episodes like side by side with one another and are saying what are better. And people are choosing Lovecraft Country. So like people are loving this. And
yeah, which is
that
wild to me, but you know, I get it.
mhm. You know, it's sad that we're learning about this history from like the art that we're consuming and not from like regular education that people have paid for. It's like private education too. Like all of the Catholic schools and all the private schools I went to never taught me like lick about the Tulsa massacre, and that's insane. Like I had to learn from a fucking TV show is ridiculous, and that makes me
Kurt,
angry.
didn't you know only white people like pay taxes, and that's why? Like you only get this
But that should affect public education. I'm paying good money for my education. And
like
I didn't get this top tier.
like
Like,
like don't you know that, like, you know, I mean, you're only gonna get like what the white folks want you to know, like yeah, man, it it like sucks that it has to be through this way, that so many people learn.
mm-hmm,
um I just wish that I just wish that Lovecraft Country maybe like how a white person doing it or a white team doing it would have caution,
Right.
right?
To at
Like
least
would
give
have
some care to these really traumatic scenes that they're playing out. Like, give me a gift of like what I can be doing forward. Like, to see Montrose, like, see that trauma happen again into his life, like, is not a gift.
no.
And like to have his son be the hero that is the stranger from the park, I wasn't like, yes, yes. I was just like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
Yo,
that's like,
yo, look, that shit's so fucked up because literally they could have saved his friend, and Atticus was all like, "You can't intervene, Dad. If you're gay, that's gonna ruin shit for everybody." Oh no!
right.
Like,
Like,
but
you can't
five
read
minutes
into these,
later,
read between the fucking lines that you are writing.
but 5 minutes later, oh, I gotta save these kids. Like, excuse
Right.
me? Like,
Because
excuse
that's
me?
necessary. Like, okay,
That's
you are the
necessary.
person. We fucked up. Now I'm the guy.
Yeah, like, yo, like,
Grandfather paradox.
yeah, like, yo, exactly. Exactly. And it was just like, damn, couldn't Grandfather Paradox saving that kid that gets his brains blown? like, and that you very much know. Yo, do you know what it reminded me of?
Mm.
Remember when we were talking about the Superman bit in Man of Steel? How
Mm.
like Superman's dad says like no,
Right.
no son, like it was that exact same energy, but it was turned around, and I just was like yo like this is still a child, like save this kid, and letting so much of it of just like seeing like we just have to let this happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, who the fuck in their right mind makes a show that has alternate universes and then says, "Yo, but Tulsa can't like we can't even see the people of Tulsa rise up. Seeing that woman burn alive
That was, oh
and
my
take the
god, that was the
L,
worst
that
thing I
was
ever
wild.
watched. That
That
was
was
like,
wild.
I did not need to watch that. And like
Yo.
that's I think is the difference between the sort of like horror and like bad things that happen in The Boys, because like this is over the top sort of horror that we're going for in The Boys, whereas in like Lovecraft Country it's like you are literally damaging your viewers by watching some of this stuff. Like, it's
Yo, like it the thing is it's also trying to be like trying to be deep, like
impoetic, and it's just like, no,
real
there's nothing poetic about that. Like,
there's nothing poetic here. I'm tired of you guys playing famous black people's monologues over one of the main characters doing something. It does
or
not
doing nothing because
work.
she couldn't
Yeah,
do anything.
Jesus Christ. Like, also, that happens twice in that episode. No, actually. No, it doesn't. But still, like, wild to me. It is wild to me. Um, it makes it so hard to want to go to bat for that show because it constantly just like
Right.
keeps like just like I was saying through our tweets together, like I was saying like how this show is trying to force its importance upon you, and like the thing is I don't see where the importance is. Like
Mm-hmm.
I like, and I hate sounding like that guy, but just because it's something that is black does not mean that like it is something that is revolutionary.
Mm-hmm.
Like this show has some deep seated faults that I can't really get over, and it's because it's made by black people. Like 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 if this was made by white people, I just simply wouldn't watch it, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
I would just call it a
Right.
day. And I almost called it a day on this show. Like, um, but like I said, we have been watching this.
Hmm.
This is something that people are talking about, and this is made by, hopefully, made by black folks. Like I can't see what that writing room really is like,
Yeah,
and
we've
who's
got
on it.
we've got
But
two writers here. We've got Misha Green and Huoma Ofordire. Um, both are black writers. Um, and I mean, yeah, like just as you said, like to its credit, like this is a cultural phenomenon. um you know Black audiences are loving this, so are white audiences, and like we can't deny that, but we can also say that, like, I hope going forward that, like, dramatization of trauma isn't how you try to promote a sort of affect in the people that you want to change their perspective on. Like, that shouldn't be the fodder for which we, like, rely upon in order to get people to move towards action so that this doesn't happen again.
and also, I don't think, the thing is, there is not like there is a, with this trauma, there is a proverbial like lesson, right?
Mhm.
There's no lesson to get out of this trauma. This is this is mostly white people being horrible to black people. There is no
Mhm.
other, like, other than the parts that are of Michael K. Williams' upbringing, and how, like, people find that, like, that black people and people of color can hurt each other in their own like inter communities. There is nothing here. Like, and also, this show, you've ruined Michael K. Williams for me. I I loved Michael K. Williams in everything. I watched that shitty Assassin's Creed movie, and I thought he was the best part because I think Michael K. Williams is cool.
No way! I didn't know he was
Okay.
in Assassin's Creed.
Yes, yes, he's
Also,
in the
shout out
Assassin's
One
Creed
Looney Two
movie.
N for the follow. I appreciate that.
Yo, thank you. but yeah, he's in that shitty ass movie. Bless Michael Fassbender's heart for that cash that he had to get. But I felt better about Michael K. Williams there because I find that this character is insufferable. I have
Yeah.
never, like, I thought that, like, when I first saw Michael K. Williams, I think I even messaged both you and Rivka, like, yo, Michael K. Williams is the dad on this show?
Mhm.
That's dope.
Right.
Oh my God, this is what I wanted. I was wrong. It came with a monkey's paw.
It came with the monkey's paw,
It came
which
with the.
is the production company that makes the show.
Yeah. And it has not been good. It's been, uh, I don't know what y'all told Michael K. Williams to do, but him constantly like being fake drunk and crying all the time isn't exactly riveting. All
Mhm.
right, like, also, like, I get that y'all wanted to like show a man that is like dealing with like being closeted, but like the ways that this has been shown fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It's been just
Yeah.
mostly tiring.
In
Like,
the I remember I said this about The Boys, that it was like it's doing more damage than good. Like, I take that back, and I would say, like, that this show is doing more damage than good. Really,
it
it's
like
harder to
mm,
watch than it is, like, to, I don't know, like, bask in the homages that it's giving, because, like, what's the homage in episode 7 in Jigabobo? It's like a Nightmare on Elm Street, like,
Street, yeah.
and like that's great. I love that they were like referencing that, but it's just like, I'm so torn by this show that it's like I can't really value any sort of the influences that it's trying to, I don't know, honor. I mean, it doesn't even feel
It
like an homage, really.
No, no. It, like, the thing about this show is that, like, at first it really had that like homage feeling,
Mm.
and I think these last, especially 2 episodes, 8 and 9, just have been really just like I don't know what the fuck was happening.
Yeah,
Um,
real
but
sloppy. I mean,
yeah, like it's just been real sloppy. It just has been some I hate to say it, cartoonish shit. Which once we get into the boys,
I'm so glad you said cartoonish though. I mean, and one last point
yeah,
before we get
like
to the boys, like Journey walking through that fire just did not seem dramatic.
they
It
wanted it to
was
be
like,
so fucking. They wanted to go so hard on that, like, oh my god, look at this woman walking through the fire,
and all the
through the
images I saw, I was just like,
flames.
is this like a graphic that people are using for their podcast? Like, this can't be from the show. But then I
Right?
saw the show and I was like, this looks so bad.
No, I'm just saying that shit. That shit hit me. Only thing I can say about that is you're gonna find that image on a Kamala Harris supporters fucking like timeline. Yo, look,
Walking
no,
through the fire of
walking
Trump.
through the fire, like yo, like and look, that's no, nah, fuck it, it's shade, but I'm not gonna try to fake it, like,
Yeah.
um, just please, like, just please, can we just think about like what what we want from representation? Because sometimes like shit ain't it. This
Mm,
show is not it. Like, and like I'm not saying the show doesn't
right.
have its moments. I'm not saying the show doesn't have a good first hook. Those first 3 episodes are something that I really liked.
Superb. And like I hope our legitimacy isn't broken by saying that The Boys is it.
Like, oh god damn it. I don't want to say the boys is it. I don't want to say the boys is it, but damn, like I've been thinking about this all week, trying to think why am I so rough on Lovecraft Country and not rough on the boys when I
Mhm.
absolutely should be. But I can tell you, one of them knows like how to charm you. One of them knows what a charming show is, even through the
Absolutely.
bullshit.
I
And
you like
the
I've
boys is
never
that.
loved of a horrible villain, a horrible person before. I've never like, and I feel so shameful for saying like I love Homelander. I love seeing this dude fuck shit up. Like,
Dude, dude, it's oh my god, it's so the like uh, this is what they wanted Thanos to be, but they couldn't fucking
yes.
make it work. like, like, yo, like, because there's so many reasons as to why you could not make Thanos work, but the one reason why is because Thanos is horny about death originally in the comics. That
Mhm.
man wants to give it to death. What you have in the boys is Homelander is one thing, and it's horny about death.
Man,
um,
you were so right, man.
like, look, it is wild how much just, man. I know sexual pathos can be um, a real shortcut to seeming like something is deep, and I am definitely saying that is what the show is doing. But it works. It it
Mhm.
fucking works.
Because I mean, there is no sort of didactic or philosophical sort of like tirade that they're going on. It's just like Homelander is just like you said, he's horny for death, horny for murder. He gets off on doing these bad things, and like you're seeing a bad guy have fun. You're not seeing a bad guy do the necessary evil or stuff like that. This guy is just like getting off on all the things that are making you feel bad.
Yeah, and just like we were talking about last or 2 weeks ago about how um Stormfront, uh shows that she is a Nazi. And any other show would have that like moment of where like the villain is shown that, and then he's like, whoa, 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 whoa,
Right.
whoa, I
Yeah.
ain't
I
about
draw the
that.
lines at.
I draw the lines at Nazi. My man's Homelander is like, actually,
Give us a
I
kiss.
get, I guess we're running in the same circles. It the like that right there just showed such a like commitment to it that it wasn't gonna just like run away from it, because I thought it was like on that edge and then gonna be like, no, no, Homelander isn't that kind of guy. But no, Homelander is like, Homelander is the id. He is the id.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
God,
Just the id.
j- just the id, the pure personification of it, of like what a white man in America truly wants. Like, man, like
But, you know,
you,
even as powerful as he is, he's still weak in that he has to cave because he depends upon the love of his entire audience.
yeah, dude. Like my man said, actually, I could have my son, or I could have fans. And if you take away those fans, I'm gonna destroy everything. The dude literally says it like, just like, yo, there's gonna be nothing fucking else. Like, and you are just like, wow, that shit is crazy. And yeah, like Homelander, just, I don't know, Homelander keeps giving me what I want from a fucked up villain.
Mm-hmm.
um and like, I would say this has been mostly his season. This is his season.
Yeah,
Like, I thought
absolutely.
I thought they would give more internal pathway to Butcher, but like, I mean, it's really been Butcher and Homelander,
Mm-hmm.
but like Butcher, they just don't look into his mind enough. They
Right,
like,
right. And they try to give you some sort of backstory to show you how hard of a shell
out,
he's created, but it doesn't show
yeah.
you like the why or like what sort of things he has to do to shut all of this down.
It
And
shows the
mhm,
why a bit, but like even then it doesn't like
it doesn't
go,
feel enough.
it doesn't feel enough. Like, oh, you had a shitty dad? Yeah, bro, join the club. Like who ain't? Like like yo, like, I mean, yo, just wait until your dad gets older. Like, he'll be cool maybe like 10% of the time. Like, that's dope. Like, but they try so hard to make him, to give him like the same, uh to, I mean, give him like the same kind of internal pathway, and it
Hmm.
just ends up not working out. And I think there's two reasons for that. I mean, one, like, it's just not as fun. Like, you can tell the writers are having fun writing Homelander
Right.
because they can go anywhere they want.
Hmm.
With Butcher, they're kind of trying to ground themselves, and like it just
Yeah.
like oh, like he has a brother that died like of suicide, like, oh, and his father doesn't really care, and it actually like says, but it made you stronger, like, and like,
Hmm.
it's kind of like, okay, like, and like his father is just kind of proud that he raised an animal. But it doesn't really show Butcher fighting with the fact that he is an animal. Like,
Hmm.
his mother comes around, like is, I
Right.
mean, the one that made the confrontation between him and his father happen. And her mother's, and his mother is mostly like, I wanted you to see him so you wouldn't be scared of him, like, so he wouldn't have power over you anymore.
Right.
And
Which is, yeah.
like,
This that's that I felt like that was. I liked that scene, but
yeah,
You know, I
Yeah,
I don't think that like the whole like Huey and Butcher dynamic was as strong as it was in the first season, where it's like everybody kind of had to convince him again that like, hey, like Huey's your canary in the mine, and that maybe you want to be a nice person, eventually.
yeah,
um,
like
but
yeah, like in.
go
Mhm.
ahead, go ahead.
No, 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 no.
Well, what I was gonna
You're
say is that
mhm.
whereas well, like you might see it as a downfall, and I think I will say it as a downfall too in terms of like the writing and what we're missing from like sort of like the good heroes of this series. I think what's lacking in those characters makes us love Homelander more
Yeah,
because
man.
we are way
It
more
make
in his head than we are in anybody else's head, and we know why that guy is fucked up. Like we know what's going on with that guy, and we want to see more of it. Where it's like all of the good guys are so insufferable, save for Mother's Milk. He's great. I love
yo,
Mother's Milk.
yo, Mother's Milk. I was just about to say Mother's Milk is the only one other than Kamiko that like
Right, right. Kamiko too. Kamiko's great.
to like is the only other one that like both of them are great and like but all the all the other guys, Frenchie, fucking shut the fuck up, Frenchie. This just isn't your season. And how do you still get the happy-go-lucky walk away,
Right.
motherfucker? Like,
The most undeserving character of a happy walk away.
yeah, like yo, like just like yo, my guy, like you're everywhere this season. Like, oh, I'm bad guy. Oh, I'm good guy. Oh, I'm mightier than thou. Oh, not really. I let children die. Like, and which, why wouldn't you just tell people that there was a reason why you left? Because it makes sense. It makes sense that you went to go help a friend.
Mm-hmm.
Like, like, um, but man,
Yeah, and
like,
that's like so Mother's Milk is always like the source of reason, and he's just like, yeah, why didn't you tell us, dude? We would have let you off the hook. Like, are you ashamed that you did the right thing? And like, of course, it doesn't excuse that you did a fucked up thing, but like, you could have told us, and like,
yeah, and also it's not like Frenchie left and like knew that like Frenchie did not leave while children were burning alive. It
mm-hmm.
it happened like hours later because Frenchie was supposed to be tailing the dude, but even then all the dude did was go to her fucking house and then try to murder her. Like
Right. I mean, like, you don't have a security system. Like, what's going on? Like, I mean, like, it's kind of on you at that point.
look, I don't know about that, I mean, it is like, Iceman, Iceman plus Fireman.
I put that in your head, man.
Yeah, like look, it is anti Iceman that is going in there and burning shit up.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. No security system is gonna fuck with that. At set maybe one that has sprinklers
Mm-hmm.
apparently. um, because God, the way that how that man kills himself, and but like yeah, like there just isn't enough of a internal um like there isn't enough internal struggle shown in Butcher even at the end like where like you have this child and you think that Butcher is going to end up showing up
Mm-hmm.
um and he ends up not like Butcher Butcher just says hey the kid is going to go you know to go with the FBI, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah. Like you could have seen him go down this sort of redemptive path. Like, maybe he doesn't need Huey anymore. Maybe he can find his soft spot by becoming a father and actually, you know, going with his promise to, what's his wife's name? I forget his wife's name. But yeah, just like letting him go with the government. I was
which
thinking, yeah,
also she gets fridged.
yeah, that was unnecessary.
That was that was bad. And yeah, she was fridged, and there was no reason for
Yeah.
that. Was not that was very comic book like, you know.
um, and yeah, speaking of comic book, like a twist of Victoria Newman, becoming or like being being a soup, right in front of our eyes, and we didn't know it. I didn't call that. I thought that one was a good one. I thought that was a good twist.
I thought it was a good one. I thought it was a little bit bullshit because they showed her eyes go like
Storm.
a milky, yeah, kind of like a milky white, and like, but that doesn't happen while she is that doesn't happen while
When
she
she's in the room,
is
when she's in the courtroom.
room.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, what what the fuck? But it was cool,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah. I that actually gave me a oh shit moment. Because it's just like, oh my god, are you kidding me? Like, and then just to have baby Yui show up asking for a job, like, and yeah,
Well, that's and that's the biggest difference too. That's another difference between Lovecraft and the boys, and I guess like what we love about the sort of monstrosity of this show is that like, wow, you're really doing that, and like you're really taking me aback. Or it's like when Lovecraft does it, you're just like, really, really, are you doing that? Or
yeah,
it's like
like
I
there's no
want,
fun
yeah.
twist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no fun twist at all. Like, happening through like Lovecraft. Uh, hmm, that's really happening through. I mean, Lovecraft Country. Like, there. I mean, what was the one twist that Christina was in Bonnie Williams' body, and
Right.
that just sucked. Like, and that wasn't like uh something something like horrible, but seeing Newman like blowing up dude's head after he's like, yeah, I got the 101 on some of these soups. We're about to fuck them up.
Right,
We
oh,
got those
right. That
tax
setup was
credits.
amazing. Talking to the one person who's gonna blow up his head, thinking like, "Oh, we got a deal. I'm feeling good about myself," and then she just blows his head up. Perfect. I thought that was awesome. But like you said, that was cheap. We should have known that from the start.
Yeah, like we should have known, but like, dude, there's so much going on in this show that
Anybody could have
like,
missed that,
like,
even if they
like,
did put it in.
the whole thing is like the show makes me just, I kind of like turn off my brain, and it's just real good entertainment, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, that's what I like about this show. I think the show has just been good entertainment, which I don't think is that common anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And which
like,
makes me think that it's not going to get canceled. I know there's a lot of talk
no,
on
no,
on
it's
Twitter
not.
that people are saying like, oh, it's not going to get continued for another season, but it's just like this is
There's
too
no way
good.
that's happening.
Yeah, it's too good of
Th-
a property for you to drop.
this has been the most watched show on Amazon.
Wow. Oh, that's right.
For
Yeah, it broke some of Netflix's records.
Yeah, dog. Like,
Season
there's
3
no.
is confirmed. According to someone in the chat, Shytown Assassin says season 3 is confirmed.
Yeah, like, season three's happening. Thank you, Chi Town. And like, and I can't wait. I can't wait for it. It's I love seeing Superman Trump just fuck things up. I just like, the whole difference is that this is fake. Like, this has no effect on me.
Right. I'd much rather tweet about an episode of The Boys and then live tweet Trump like rally or like the debate that NBC is going to be doing whatever during the Biden
Oh
debate, and it'd be
God.
like, more people are going to be watching the Trump town hall because they want fodder for their tweets.
Yeah. Like, so like, I I've just really appreciated this show, and I you know uh, remember that article that I sent you that was about like how the boys, um,
Oh right, it's the end of this era of superheroes, and it's like, yeah.
superheroes, yeah, which there are some issues with that article that I have, like
Mm-hmm.
of how like they were really on that dude's dick about who wanted to ban comic books.
Right, the
Not
guy who
great.
created the comics code.
Code, yeah, like not great. That man also was a homophobe so clearly, and thought that like people that like comic books were pedophiles. He wasn't great. um, but I do think that there has been a there like is a issue with like 30 to 40 somethings trying to find heroes in real life. You
Mm-hmm.
know, especially in politics. Like there's such a quick lineization of politicians that happens. That's just like celebrity, just like things like that, and like um, the boys, just like how we talked with Vought and everything. Um, just like how we talked with Vought, how Vought is like just a encapsulation of like capitalism.
Mm-hmm.
Superheroes in the show are a encapsulation of um, the military complex. They are a encapu
Yeah, what is the show
um,
not talking about really? It's talking about
yeah, like
everything.
everything. It's talking about America. Like straight up, it's just talking about America,
Mm-hmm.
and like it's talking about celebrity. It's talking about fame. It's talking about like the sadness of fame itself. Like and like even when you're trying to do something inherently good, like in the system, just like a cop or anything like that, like you get caught up in the system and find yourself being just as bad as like what you said you were going to change. Um, it it works on multiple levels, and I think that's where the boys kind of shines. It's also where where like the show can kind of falter too, but like I like it for the most part for what it's for like its broad for pretty much that broad saying.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not like it's one flail swoop. Um,
No, definitely not.
right,
Definitely not.
and but it's oh man, it's like, would you say it's well done? I think it's really well done. I mean, like I people were I mean, I don't even know if people were angry or like upset at the fact that it's like a Jewish character playing this Nazi, but just like perfect. Like like
I think I think at that point, like, and also with like, isn't what's his name? Um, he has the laugh. Like, you know who I'm talking about, Falk. The producer of this show, and he was same producer for
Oh, Seth Rogen?
Seth Rogen.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure Seth Rogen is
Yeah, he's the executive producer of the show.
producer. Yeah. Okay. So like, uh, Seth Rogen, um, I think like Seth Rogen definitely being on this team like knew like you had to cast someone that was inherently or someone that was Jewish to play this horrible character, um just to get just to play them like a real piece of shit to get the most that you can. Just kind of like how Taika plays Hitler in Jojo Rabbit.
Mhm.
like, like, you know, like who the fuck cares? This person's a shithead.
Mhm.
Also, Stormfront getting the shit beat out of them by all three women.
Yo, have you
Um,
ever seen the movie Death Proof? Which I have a
yeah,
copy of it
yo,
right here. That
yeah,
I got the
yo.
same feeling from that. Just like women kicking this bad guy's ass, and I was just
Yeah,
like, not like catering to some sort of like fake feminism where it's like, so
Yo,
they made that whole like, and we talked about this in previous episodes where it's like it's making fun of like, oh, the women get the job done sort of like fake sort of like allyship that media is going through, and then gives you an actual scene
actual,
where women are
yeah,
like actually getting the job done, and it was sick.
yo, like them just stomping this this Nazi piece of shit out and openly saying like Nazi fucking bitch. Like
Yes.
yo, like just like yo, just go in. Um like dude, it worked so well. I I like on some level, I really hated that I was getting so much joy out of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
But I was also like, damn, this is better than that shitty ass scene in Avengers Endgame where all the women came together and and like it was for no reason at fucking all that they tried to shoehorn in. Like which is what like the boys uh girl power stuff has been this season is like joking on that bullshit and
Right.
also the bullshit of the feminist me too movement corporate bullshit that really started to come in. Oh god, like
Damn.
so good, like so good. You know what? If you ever wanna like see a smile on my face, just run that scene by me real quick. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
just
like
show us a
just like
video of someone like punching a Nazi. It'll put a smile on our face. It's the new puppy video.
yeah, like yo, honestly a little bit better. Like like oh man, that scene. And man, and then with the boys just looking like, huh, all right,
Right.
all right,
Yeah. All right. All right. Get the job
we're
done. All right.
just I mean, drop the gun, like he just like, all right, you know what, nothing was gonna happen anyway with us shooting this woman.
Yeah.
I guess y'all being her to shit.
I hope Rivka at some point does watch this episode, and then, well, not
Yeah.
the boys, but of like us talking about it, and put some sense into us about like, come on,
Oh
it could be a
no,
little bit better.
they are going to definitely be like, yo, this show does fall into the same like the show because of what it's doing ultimately like falls into the same faults of what it's trying to parody, but like
Hmm.
oh man, you know what, sometimes you just got to put your face in some shit.
Right.
Like this has been one of the like most entertaining shows to watch.
Yeah, and I was definitely on the fence coming up from like episode 3. I think episode 3 was just
Dude,
like when I saw the evil that Stormfront did, I was like, I don't know if I'm into this. I don't know if I really want to see this
yeah,
anymore. But then
yeah,
just like allying with Homelander, and then just like learning more about like what Homelander will like not succumb to, but like just be happily associated with, was just like, okay, now I know what you're doing. Okay, I'm so down. And yeah, I felt great. I felt great with that season. I think it works really well. I'm excited
like
to keep watching.
them just being oh my god, did we talk about the dude um thinking that his local guy was like a fucking superhero terrorist?
Oh no, no, we didn't
Yo,
talk about that radicalization of this one
yo,
guy
that
who's
that
watching
radicalization, yeah,
Stormfront and Homelander speak every single at every single event they're doing, and then ends up killing someone who they think is a soup terrorist, which is like, there's the most blatant metaphor for the radicalization of homegrown terrorism.
yeah,
That
like
was
and
so good.
mm, also the look that he kept giving the girl every time he fucking walked by was just such a good like just like oh yes, because this man is also just like a fucking loser. Like this dude is a loser. He can't talk to the girl he so obviously wants to. Like oh god damn it, yes. Like just smear it in
Right.
what they're just smear it in, I mean, like their faces. And I know there's gonna be assholes that still can't put one to one, like one plus one like equals two together, like
Right.
for why this is them, like
Right.
that
Yeah. Like
watch this
so.
show.
Like this is definitely all of like the gratuitous violence of this show is definitely fodder for people like that character.
Yeah,
And but no one is going to see themselves inside that character,
character.
which is like
Yeah,
that's the richness of that commentary, I feel. But like sure,
yeah.
the show isn't going to say that that's who the audience is, who's watching at home
but
is.
but it gets so close to it. It gets so close to it because it also like just shows them at home, like watching this shit, having all the fucking memorabilia in the room. Like it just mm, it gets so close. I don't know how like you could look at that shit and not think, wow, am I a racist? Like,
Yeah.
just on, I mean, like the fucking edge, like of like, I don't know, terrorizing my fucking local bodega guy.
Mhm.
Like, yes, you are. Like,
Right, and like
um,
so that's where I think Lovecraft fails in being a period piece is that like okay, you thinking like oh racism was really bad back then, and you don't think like oh maybe I'm racist when I'm watching the show. You're just like oh racism's gone. It happened a really long time ago. Whereas like the boys is telling you like it's happening right now. This is it. This show inherently racist. Hey, we're racist. You watching at home, you might be racist for watching
you
this
might
shit.
be racist. Yeah,
Yeah.
yo, do you get pleasure out of Homelander like wrecking these obvious like Islamic their version of Islamic terrorism? Like this shit's fucked up. Like and yes, like it fucking oh my god, like it it like it's so very much it's very much like that show is still talking the boys talked so much of like the Bush era, but the
Mhm.
Bush era just ultimately falls into
It never ended,
this
really.
era. Yeah, like I mean it still happened like even with under Obama, like there I mean just was a shine on it cuz cuz all you did was just hear a little bit less about the fucked up things that were going on, which it never stopped. It ultimately maybe got a little bit worse because they were trying to put an end to something.
Right. Maybe yeah,
Like,
it was given a rebrand. Bush era was given a rebrand and it was called the greater good. It was called hope or uh change, which was like Obama's slogan, you know? And so it's like
oh my god, I'll change where I bomb those kids. Like, fucking great. Like, um, and
yeah.
yeah, like and just how reactionary politics um, just end up like being such a like getting people to turn reactionary politics into a personal brand. You know,
Mhm.
like I mean, people are so there, like are so there for the personalities. Oh, I like Stormfront. Oh, I like
Mhm.
Homelander. Oh, these people are cool. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I mean, because they, I mean, present themselves as powerful. Like
Well,
they are telling me I can also be powerful.
Well, that
Like,
that relates to that article that I put it in the chat in case anyone wants to read it, where it's like people are looking for superheroes in everyday life. It's like the way that people considered, Bernie like a superhero or AOC, like these democratic leftists who are supposed to be saving us, the squad. I mean, these hashtaggers. It's like you need to be doing the work too. These people are not going to be saving us.
saving. No,
Like
no.
like stop believing that superheroes are real, I mean like everyone's got a job to do. And yeah, so I mean I think yeah, maybe superhero culture is a little bit damaging in that like we try to translate those sort of icons onto actual people. um Yeah. So I guess like yeah, maybe there needs to be a different dynamic in comics, but like we're still amped up about DC Future State. I mean, there's no jumping around that. That shit looks dope as fuck.
look,
Give me Black
I
Superman. Give me.
like, look, I definitely am the person to tell you that Marvel movies are bad for the most part, and I hope that there's a time
Okay,
when they
Scorsese.
end. Yo, let me tell you, me and Scorsese in the fucking driver's seat. All right, look, we can change this shit. All right, if people just let go, let go. I'm tired of a serious moment being undercut by a joke. I'll have it no more. And but yeah, like I am the first person to be like, yo, Marvel movies, bad, bad movies. Will
Shaitan
you see
Assassin
me?
agrees with you.
Thank you, thank you. But will I also be the person that's like, guess I'm seeing this first day? Fuck it.
Yeah, man, because it's a moment. It's a
Like,
moment to cherish with everybody else. I mean, like Infinity War, one of the best
yeah,
like movie going experiences I ever had. I mean, like that room was like loud as fuck.
Infinity War or Endgame?
Infinity War, fuck Endgame. I did not like Endgame.
Yeah, yo, because I think that the scene that made Endgame worth it was that Captain America scene, and
Right.
that was a scene where if you ask my partner, she will tell you that like I almost got up in the theater, but instead what I did was go and scream my brain off, just like, yo, Captain America
I
with
think you're
the
right. I think
hammer?
you're right.
Are you kidding
I
me?
think maybe I've never heard as many like men loudly like crying during a movie
Yeah,
than
bro,
I did in Infinity War. Just like
dude.
so many, just like ah.
Oh man. But like, but yeah, I mean, I remember after Endgame happened, I said, thank God I can finally be done with these fucking movies.
Right, that
Ev
was the saga. I had it. I'm done.
yeah,
Like
yeah, like
I'll
I'm
see
done.
Eternals like on Netflix or when it's streaming.
Cool. Spider-Man came out that same summer. Where the fuck was I the first day that Spider-Man um came out? I was in that goddamn theater with my girlfriend telling her like this shit's gonna suck. I'm gonna hate this. And you know what? At the end of the movie, I was like, wow, I hate these Spider-Man movies.
Yeah. Oh, do we need to talk about the live action universe that they're doing? That's like all
you know,
confirmed.
I don't know if that's true or not. Is that true?
Is it? I'm
It's
pretty sure it is. I think you got a
because I've
Vulture
been
article.
seeing because I've been seeing a lot of real shit and a lot of fake shit, like of like people making like fake posts, like fake like articles saying
Oh,
that like it's
yeah.
gonna
None of
happen.
these are
That
legit.
that
It's
like
Radio Times. You got Nerdist with a fan video with.
yeah, dude, like like
Also, who
like
wants it? Who? No one wants this.
look, everybody wants Toby back.
They do. They do want Toby back.
Some people want Andrew back. I'm not really one of the people that
I'm on
wants
the
Zane
fence.
back.
When I was actually really excited when I saw the first Amazing Spider-Man, which is basically 500 Days of Summer Spider-Man. It's the
I
same
mean,
director. It's the same
it.
director.
Look, some may say that I have a poster in this room that is right over here that has Stan Lee's signature on a Amazing Spider-Man poster.
Oh, that's legit. That's awesome. Yeah, you
But
can't get rid of that.
no, I can't get rid of it, even though I'm not really the biggest fan of Amazing Spider-Man.
Hmm.
But I will tell you, I recently watched um all the
Sam Raimi?
swinging scenes.
Oh, okay.
No. All of the like swinging scenes of Spider-Man just swinging through the city and like doing action. And let me tell you, though Amazing Spider-Man 1 or 2, best movies for that.
Hmm.
Not even gonna front. Those have great cinematography when it comes to seeing Spider-Man, and it feels like Spider-Man is in a fucking comic book. Which
Hmm.
uh,
Couldn't agree more. Yeah.
all the Marvel Spider-Man movies make me feel like I am still watching the same 2009 Iron Man movie. So what the
Yeah.
fuck is up with that? And None of that shit is as cool as it thinks it is. I am tired. And also, just I swear to God, if this one isn't in him in just New York, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Oh yeah, why are you taking him out of New York? You put him in New York suburbs for the first movie too, for most of it. What the hell was that all about? Like,
That shit was gentrification, my guy. I
yeah,
felt
dude.
violent.
Like, I get sure Queens, but like, what part of Queens are we talking about right now?
Like it, it just was so much of just like, yeah, we're gonna mostly just show Peter in the high school, and like, that's cool, but I mean, are we gonna show him swing through the city? Well, he doesn't really know how to do that well yet.
Right.
Like, what? Well, yeah, we're also gonna make him like Iron Man as the mentor. Like, oh, also we'll never talk about Uncle Ben. So,
Right. I mean, because we
uh,
we saw that. I guess they took the criticisms that
of
no
the other
Batman
Spider-Man
writer has ever
movies.
heeded, and said like, I think we've seen Uncle Ben die too many times. We haven't seen the Waynes die enough.
Yeah, like I'm just saying, if y'all wanna show, I don't know, even a lick of Uncle Ben, he don't even gotta get shot. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, show us a
Uncle Ben,
tombstone. Maybe he goes to a graveyard and just like pays his respects, and like we get a little bit of tidbit. But
yeah,
like,
like, yo, like, my man's was crying more about Iron Man than I've ever seen him even mention Uncle Ben.
right, and then like you've got Aunt May, who's just like kind of just like getting over it and dating John Favreau. Which, like, get it, Aunt May, but just like, are we not gonna grieve over Uncle Ben? I mean,
Yo, oh, that too. Hey, take Marissa Tomei out of those movies. I don't know what you got to do, but like that's also violence. Like you made Aunt May very attractive, and that's kind of wrong. Like y'all knew what y'all were doing there,
right.
and there's no world where I should be thinking, damn, Aunt May though. Like what? Excuse me? Like
I'm so confused. I'll never read a Spider-Man book
like
the same.
look, I'm just saying, like, Marissa Tomei is like too spicy white. Why didn't y'all like put like, I don't know, any other middle-aged white woman? Man, ugh,
I yeah,
disrespectful.
I was hoping to. I had a friend who really wanted to talk in during the boys segment, but I guess they're still stuck in traffic. But yeah, I can't think of a better way to end this episode. Wow, what a fun time, man.
Yo, I look. Did I not tell you that like this episode was I mean gonna be
Yeah, you
good?
delivered the goods, man.
Yeah.
We got to do a Robin, Ivy, and a Bane. Are you
Okay.
ready, or should I go first? I got to think on it for a second.
All right, cool. I can go first.
Okay.
The Ivy, our beloved Rivka, um,
Mm.
the queer king, is not here, and I am sad about that. Um, and
Well, that would be the Bane, wouldn't it? It's not something that's growing.
mm, true.
There you
All
go.
right. I mix those up. That is the Bane. The Ivy is something that's growing. I think I'm finally gonna make some model kits this week. So
Ooh, nice. You bought
because
some Gundams.
yeah, bought a normal small kit. And I haven't done it in a year and some change. So I'm kind of, so I said, let me buy a cheap kit I don't mind fucking up first before I finally get back to my other kits that are actually like really nice that I don't want to mess up. Um, and then the good thing, or the Robin, um, I guess is, I mean, I'm eating healthier,
Oh,
so
nice.
that's been
Kudos.
really good.
Doing the
Like
same.
I've been trying to just drink more water and
Hmm.
really think about like what I'm going to eat. And so we've both me and my partner have tried to this week stop eating as much processed foods. So it's been really important.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Congratulations, man. Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, I would say that's my IV. I've been eating a lot healthier, and I've been just a little bit more conscious about um, my back problems and stuff like that, and I guess like my
God,
body in
dude.
general, just because I've been streaming and I've been like trying to find the perfect chair for me to stream off of. I think I found a good medium with this like broke ass chair that we've had since '98. But at least it lets me get my back straight. So happy about that. The Robin is this new Fifine microphone. I don't know if you're seeing it on stream,
Ooh,
but it's nice. I'm coming in crisp.
damn,
I
you are
also,
coming in, Chris.
yeah, I even
Also
have
with the
this.
haircut.
Thank you.
Yo,
Yeah, sister gave me a nice cut. Yeah, it's been like 2 weeks since we saw each other last.
yeah, looking
Um,
clean.
and I also have this audio interface that I've been using. So it's an M box, and I bought it back in like 2012. So I thought
Oh,
it was gonna
but you
work
didn't have a
anymore.
reason.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, well, I bought it and I had Pro Tools, the software that it came with, but then literally as soon as I bought it, there was an update in iOS. I think what's after uh, Snow Leopard? I think it was like Mountain or Sierra, and then all
That
of my
fucked it
Pro
up.
Tools like software went obsolete, and I couldn't use it. So lo and behold, I find the N box. I look on Reddit, and they're like, "Oh, you could totally use that on a Windows computer." And I was like, "We're back, baby. We're so back."
Yeah, I've been. Uh, Also, you got your grant, didn't you?
I did, yeah. So I used the grant to buy this microphone. I got the
Yeah.
capture card, so I've been doing some Switch streams. I had a
Yeah.
Switch stream today with my friend Kobe Omansky. If anybody's interested in watching that, check out my YouTube channel. You just look up Kurt Santana, you should be able to find it there. But it's also in this Twitch channel too. And then the Bane. Um, is all yeah, it's got to be Rivka getting sick. Or at least like their roommate getting sick. I hope they're not sick. They've been going a little bit crazy.
Yeah.
But then also I think my sister was getting sick a little bit, but she just got her COVID test and it's negative. So
Oh,
silver
that's
lining
good.
to that.
That's
Yeah.
good to hear.
Yeah, y'all get your COVID test as regularly as you can, and keep your sanity by doing some social distance hangouts. I'm doing one this Sunday with one of my friends, and I finally got the courage to go outside and
Dude,
visit some peeps. So
it's so scary. It feels so scary just to do any normal thing
right,
nowadays. And
and to
but
like
like,
not
hey,
let anybody
like,
take it personally. It's like I want to see you so bad, but I'm literally scared and shaking in my boots, and like yeah, I mean, like, so I'm so glad that I finally have the courage to, go and see some of my friends in a safe manner. Because, I mean, I trust them, they trust me. And so, yeah.
yeah, man. I mean, it's important. Look, the one thing about this quarantine, well, I guess it's not really a quarantine anymore because a lot of motherfuckers just out there. But um, you know, the one thing that this time has really shown is like, being safe is very important, but also trying to find ways to spend time with people that you care about
Hmm.
um, is couldn't be more precious right now. So hey, folks out there, if you're gonna hang out, just try to do it the safest way that you can, and just enjoy that time. Like that time is important, and especially with everything crazy going on right now, you just never know what can happen. So
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Thanks, everybody, for watching. This has been Nerd Gaze. I'll leave you off with some tunes. But thank you all for watching. Peace out.